Well, how many dreams did he have? Did he have a bunch? Nebuchadnezzar, that was?
He had one dream.
Okay. Well, his first dream was about a huge statue, right? It was about the succession of many different empires. Now, Babylon, the Babylonian Empire, Bob's favorite, that was gold. And Midian, remember the Midian Empire? That was silver. And the Persian, we talk about the Persian Empire often, don't we? That would be bronze. And the Hellenistic Empire, that would be iron. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now those kingdoms would be judged. And who's going to judge them? What they call the Ancient of Days sits in judgment over them. And one like the Son of Man is given eternal kingship. Get that?
Yes.
Okay, that was good.
That's all the kingdoms. That was 5.
No, it's not all the kingdoms, but that's all we can remember. We are distracted. Biggin, you better go to Daniel 7.
Daniel 7, all right.
Going to have to do a little work, but you're going to have to work for it.
Daniel 7. Okay, Daniel 7. Okay, verse 1. In the first year, Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and the visions of his head upon his bed. And then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the 4 winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. Verse 3, and 4 great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. Oh, wow. Okay. Verse 4.
Wait a minute. What's blowing from Babylon to the United States of America right now? What's blowing from the Sahara Desert right now?
Yeah, that's sand. The sand.
Uh-huh. The winds are blowing from the kingdom of Babylon.
So the kingdom of Babylon is in the Sahara?
Yeah, that's where that is, yeah. Well,
Babylon's
Bob,
in the Sahara.
Everything. Ask Bob, he knows everything.
Bob, is Babylon in the Sahara?
My best days in Babylon were when Babylon was in the Sahara.
Okay.
Wow, okay.
It moves a bit. It's big. Babylon was huge.
Mm-hmm.
So your point's well taken, but it's not as you know it. Go ahead.
Verse 4, and the first was like a lion, and had eagle's wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted from the earth, and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. Verse 5, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. Verse 6, after this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Verse 7, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Verse 8, I consider the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of its first horns plucked up by its roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Verse 9, I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit, whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like pure wool, his throne like of a fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Verse 10, a fiery stream issued and came forth from before him. Thousands ministered unto him, and 10,000 times 10,000 stood before him. The judgment was set, and the books were opened. Verse 11, I beheld then, because of the voice of the great words which the horn spake. I beheld, even till the beast was slain, and his body destroyed, and given to the burning flame. Verse 12, as concerning the rest of the beasts, they had their dominion taken away, yet their lives were prolonged for a season and time. Verse 13, I saw in the night visions, and behold, one like the Son of Man came with the clouds of heaven, and came to the Ancient of Days, and they brought him near before him. Verse 14, and there was given him dominion and glory and a kingdom, that all people, nations, and languages should serve him. His dominion is an everlasting dominion which shall not pass away, and his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed. Verse 15, I, Daniel, was grieved in my spirit in the midst of my body, and the visions of my head troubled me. Verse 16, I came near unto them that stood by, and asked him the truth of all this. So he told me, and made me know the interpretation of these things. Verse 17, these great beasts with all four kings, which shall rise out of the earth. Verse 18, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, and even ever and ever. No, sorry, let me read that again. But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom, and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. Verse 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before the three fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and the mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows. Verse 21, and I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. Verse 22, until the Ancient of Days came, and the judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Verse 23, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. Verse 24, and the 10 horns out of this kingdom, and the 10 kings shall arise, and another shall rise after them, and he shall be diverse from the first, and he shall subdue 3 kings. Verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws. And they shall be given into his hand until a time and times, and the dividing of time. Verse 26, but the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. Verse 27, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominions shall serve and obey him. Verse 28, hitherto is the end of the matter, and as for me, Daniel, my cogitations much troubled me, and my countenance changed me, but I kept the matter in my heart.
Excellent. Now, so basically what that's laid out, we're going to give you what it says, and we're not going to clean it up right now, but Bert, you can pick it apart, pick it to death once you got something to work with. Let's do it this way. Daniel 2:32 and 38, the Babylonian Empire. You can look that up and go from there, how it all meets. It was divided, the Medes and the Persians later. It becomes a merged thing. But that's before Belshazzar was killed. So you got to watch that. Then you have that turned into the Medo-Persian Empire. And then after that was Alexander the Great's empire. That was the division of the kingdom. Okay? That's the belly and the thighs of bronze and brass. And that's the male goat with the large horn and 4 smaller horns. Daniel 8:5 through 8, 21 through 22, and 11:3 through 4. That was Alexander the Great's issue that he had to deal with that fell. That's just where the Greek king, whose father was Philip II of Macedon. That's how that connects. Bob remembers that well, which got him all the way up to 27 BC with the Roman Empire. Woo-hoo! With the teeth of iron, or the 10 horns. Then you have the great false religious system. That's the whole, basically, the Catholic Church and or the papacy. They're about in between each other. They both stand. Then you have the Vandals. The Vandals are the ones that are listed in Daniel 7:24. Then the first of the 3 horns plucked from the little horn is Daniel 7, 8, and 20. That kingdom was overthrown at the behest of the papacy. Then the Heruli, that's in the same plucked up of the little horn as well. It was by the papacy. Then the Ostrogoths, that came the same. That was the other of the little horn. And Theodonic the Great became the king and was overdone. This is where you got the first touch of the Byzantine Empire. That's how that war, in the 19-year-long war and the Gothic War. And it finally failed. And the Roman Empire, partial restoration, because under the backside of Justinian I, the Byzantine Empire. Then you're moving on down to Charlemagne. Got that? Now we're starting to get in the Bob's world with Charles the Great. And that's crowned by the Pope, was the first Roman emperor in the Western Europe since the fall of the empire in 476 A.D. That brings in the Franks and the Lombards, and Bob can pick and do that. He can do that out of his ass. He knows that by heart. But that's another one. Otto the Great, that's about 962. This is where the Germans start coming in here. That's where they start bumping into the Duke of Saxony. Bob just loves Saxony. It's so much fun because they were trying to compare and move themselves up and be the founder of the Holy Roman Empire, actually. Then you got Charles V. Oh, God. Same thing. That's Revelation 17, 1 through 6, the heads of the 4 beasts. That goes all the way through. And now, actually, this kind of found the Jesuits, actually. And Bob's not real fond of them because it made Protestantism a normal name, but it really wasn't the case. Then you got Napoleon the First. That runs up right into the same run and goes all the way through until 1814 A.D. And then you got Otto von Bismarck. Uh-oh, it's starting to get closer to home now. Y'all better look out. This is that part where Otto the Great, Charles V, Napoleon, Justinian, and Charlemagne was all before the Bismarck's rule. Those 5 kingdoms fell before Bismarck's rule. Then you got Benito Mussolini. What? What? 1929, Mussolini in Vatican City. What? New York City. What? That's the Third Reich. Brings you all the way up to the final world empire. Toes of iron, clay destroyed by God's kingdom. King that will kill Christians and fight Jesus. Beast with 7 heads, 10 horns who rule the earth. Beast with 2 horns like lamb but speaks like a dragon. 8 head that is the beast that was and is not, is himself, also the 8th. Revelation 17:11. 10 horns, kings that will give their power to the beast. The full meaning of these prophecies are yet to occur. You're going to see in a minute. Oh, that was good. Okay, good. You go to the beach now?
Thanks, Ion. That's a lot to go through, but that's big.
Well, it just lays it out. Y'all been begging for it, so it's time. So 20 people participated, so you get a little something. We'll have to ask Greg if it's all right. If it's not, we'll stop. And if it's okay with him, we'll go on a little bit further, of course. See how that goes. But so far, so good. Now, did you get your meat sack body? Now, this world system is not based on Nebuchadnezzar's anything. But what Nebuchadnezzar stood for was mammon. That's what this world is working with right now, is mammon. Nobody's working. You know why you have a gajillion people unemployed? Because they're getting paid money to not work, for God's sake. How many people going to sign up for unemployment if you get paid to not work? Pretty amazing. So set all that aside. It's not as perilous as it appears, but it's going to be. It's just beginning, and they can't sustain it. The system can't sustain itself, you see.
That's an earful.
So fasten your seatbelts, and always remember that indeed the nearest emergency exit may be behind you.